All right, welcome into your 15-minute weather. I'm meteorologist John Ziegler. Solo today, so I got a lot of graphics in here built for you. Take a look at the snow totals. Obviously, now that we're past our snowstorm, talking about today, the fact that there was a snowstorm that just missed us in Wisconsin. And then we'll take a look at the long-range forecast as well. What do I look at here for the month of March? Are we done with snow? What's going to be happening? But obviously, having back-to-back snowstorms in the upper Midwest, things should be quiet for a little while. If you guys ever want more information, please follow me at Meteorologist John Ziegler on Facebook. I post a lot over the weekend on there. Not that this weekend's I'll be posting a lot, but it's a place that I typically go when I'm not at home. All right, so here's the catching up that we've been doing. Now, this is pretty wild. Average February snowfall, 9.5 inches, third snowiest month on average. And we sit right at it. It literally didn't snow the entire month. In fact, we were in the 50s the entire month, and we still had an average month of snowfall. Do I think we'll go higher than average? I'm sure we will. Even an inch of snow here would take us to 10.7 to be exact. But yes, we had a whopping 7.6 inch disaster yesterday. So that was great. Well, I guess technically now a day and a half ago. But still, 9.3 inches, 9.5. Where do we sit year to date? So here are the snowfall to date. How about that? Wouldn't believe it with all the melting and freezing and thawing, and we're above average. How about it? 37.2. St. Cloud was way ahead of us, and they didn't get anything at the airport, or less than half an inch. What a weird situation where Twin Cities got 7, St. Cloud got 0, Duluth got 8, the North Shore got 40, and somehow St. Cloud got left out. And maybe this becomes the norm, because if you look at the averages here, St. Cloud's average 31.8. They get left out a lot. Somehow they average 5 inches less than the Twin Cities with the historical average. Now, I don't think this system had anything to do with that. That literally was dumb luck. But I have a hypothesis that a lot of the Colorado lows find themselves in between Minneapolis and Madison. That seems to be the Colorado low spot. So St. Cloud is not in the common Clipper area like northern Minnesota is, like International Falls, and they don't get hit with as many Colorado lows as even the Twin Cities. That's how hyperlocal those Colorado lows are. Anyways, still below average here for International Falls, Duluth. We'll see if they play catch up. How about this snow depth? Well, it was at 0, and there's the spike to 8 inches. What will happen today when you have a snow depth of 8 inches? It starts to compact. And especially at this time of the year, the compacting is pretty intense. So it's probably 5 or 6 today, and then we'll probably settle into around 4. Usually you get about half of it. So when you look at a snow depth, it's never the same as your snow totals for the year. But that's why snowmobiling trails, they're looking pretty good actually today around my neck of the woods in Waconia. All right, so let's talk about some positive things here. How many days until we get to our first 7 a.m. sunrise? 3 days. 3 days we get to it. February 23rd. We sit on February 20th today. What about the first 6 p.m. sunset? 8 days. It's March 1st. Not only that, the average high next week, Monday, hits 32 degrees. And by the time we get to the first couple of days of March, it's already 35. So the average high is set to go above freezing here over the coming weeks. 7 p.m. sunsets start in 16 days. How about that? That is wild to think about. Let's talk about the month to month here. What month do we gain the most? Well, it's March. If you didn't realize that, I'm not going to turn the table yet. Let's go to February 1st. So this is February. So we gain 70 minutes this month alone, gain over an average. This is actually the second month where we gain the most sunlight. So behind, here you go, March. So March, we actually gain 90 minutes of sun in 1 month. This is the month where we gain the most sunlight. What month do we lose the most sunlight? September, October. So the months that we all love, we're losing it. Darkness is coming in. I'm not a huge fan. If you gave me a choice between March or September, I'm picking September, and I think most of you are. But there's one good thing that March has that September doesn't, and that's that sun being added. Now, April, I'm wrong. Correct myself. April gets more sunlight than February. February is the third most sunlight added. And then May, we start to chill out, add 60, and then if you don't know about June, it's plateauing. So the reason in May, June, July you don't really notice anything is because you're gaining and losing very little. So 40 minutes lost in July, you don't really notice it in July because it's only 40 minutes. So that's about a minute a day. Your brain doesn't correlate that. At 3 minutes a day, your brain's like, something going on? When does that happen? August, we start losing it. September, like I said, is the worst. September's the worst, over 90 minutes. So what's been going on? We finally got off of our high horse here and went below average. How many? Well, today will be below average. How many days above average? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 days straight above average. If you don't include this one, it was really about 2 straight weeks above average. And you know what this was? 2 straight weeks below average. I look for trends. This is an absolute trend below average in January and then straight above. What am I seeing now? More fluctuation. Sorry, I got an itch. What do I mean with more fluctuation? This right here is fluctuation. That's what you're looking for. It did create snow. We only got 2 inches out of it. This fluctuation down created 7 inches of snow. Because that's where lows are coming in on the transitions, right? They're coming in when it's going up and they're coming in when it's going down. So now that it's going down, we had another chance for snow today, which we'll talk about, did not hit. But if we could go back and forth around 28 to 35 degrees, which is near average, then you're probably going to see more snow chances. All right, here's the weather headlines today. Storm is just going to miss us today, mainly down to the south of us and southeast. It's just starting to exit Wisconsin, but if you have to travel down there, you can go ahead and do so. Sun's going to return with the coldest air this weekend. This weekend looks cold. We'll take you step by step. We'll take a look at Canada. Canada's got some cold air. And then we get warm again into next week. Quiet weather pattern is going to continue. So we'll take a look at that as well. Temperatures out there, we've been hanging in the middle 20s. You could see still some low teens out here, Alexandria and Bemidji, starting to get some colder air. I mean, when you look at this, the wind speed in general, I love looking at wind speeds because it shows you where the low is. But look at the winds today. They're pretty strong out of the northwest at 15 miles per hour, only 9 in Bemidji. But as we zoom out, you can see I think it's pretty obvious where's the low. Well, the low is sitting right here. How do you find a low? Counterclockwise rotation, toilet bowl style. So think about it as a toilet, because I always call it the magnet. So if I had a magnet here, and why does it spin? Because the earth isn't flat. The earth rotates, and it spins faster at the poles, right? So it spins pretty fast up here in the northern part of the country. So it spins because of this. You have the counterclockwise rotation. It's a toilet bowl, so all the winds go to it, right? High pressure is the exact opposite. High pressure, you find it because the winds exit the high. The toilet bowl effect is on the low. So if a low is down to your southeast, you by definition have a north wind because the winds go into the low. So if you're south of the low, eventually down there, you have a south wind. So there's your low pressure center. That's how it works. And this setup here is going to obviously start to draw in some cold air. I mean, we're drawing this in now. We're coming behind here, and we are taking that in as we'll get some cold air. Here's all that snow from earlier on this morning. You can see, especially when it pivots out here, it's definitely going to keep you on the colder side. But yeah, the snow is pretty much wrapping up. Take a look at some of these weather headlines here, when these are going to go away. So you can see over here, this is going to be the Dells area. So Wisconsin Dells, it goes out. It's going to be canceling here in the afternoon. So if you need to travel into Wisconsin, this spot, the roads are going to be dicey probably for a couple of hours, but 1, 2, 3 p.m. we expect it to actually improve. Now, if you look at the advisory up here in Marquette, so if you need to travel up there, also noon, UP, the UP is about 6 p.m. So if you're traveling to the UP, roads are definitely going to be more on the icy side. I had something I wanted to show you. All right, well, let's continue on. Here's what I'm expecting here today. 25 degrees throughout the day, cloudy skies, northwest winds at around 10 to 15 miles per hour. You will start to see cooler air come in from the north. You start to see it up here. See all that cold air up into Canada. Now, if you don't know, I want to go look out here. They picked up 100 inches of snow out in, it doesn't update right now, but they did just surpass 100 inches of snow out there. I had it ready to go, but the contours canceled. So what's going on here is you still have this positioning of this low, but it's starting to weaken a little bit here. This low pressure center is actually starting to move a little bit. This one is starting to progress, and things are starting to get fairly quiet. Anyways, back at home. Tonight, we'll see temperatures down to 7 in St. Cloud, -2 in Thief River Falls, Bemidji -2, 16 degrees here in the Twin Cities. So tomorrow morning, things are starting to get cold. Tomorrow afternoon, if we can get to Saturday afternoon, there we go. It's 11 in Alexandria, 10 in Bemidji, 25 here in the Twin Cities. There's a little bubble of warmth actually out towards Wisconsin. So that little bubble of warmth is going to hold temperatures slightly warmer. So if you're going to Wisconsin tomorrow, a little bit warmer. Western Minnesota, a little bit colder across the area. Let's take a look at the next 6 to 10 days. We'll take a look at the next 8 to 14 days as well. So here's what you can expect over the next 6 to 10 days. It's pretty warm. Now, if there's one cold spot in the U.S., it's actually to the north of us here. But this is usually not that active of a pattern. I like to look at this and it shows you something. So if this is the jet, it actually neutralizes or becomes what we call in the weather world westerly. Westerly is not that active. It's also fairly uniform. So if you're on the jet, your temperatures are probably fluctuating right around average. And that's what I'm expecting here. So this is a pretty quiet setup. What about the next 8 to 14? Notice how the pattern doesn't shift. So this is actually for people wondering about activity. It's not that active. Our active weather was now, right? We obviously got hit by back-to-back systems. Wisconsin's getting one today. But to me, this is the new jet, and the new pattern is straight west. So no, I'm not really seeing this, and I can take a look at precipitation for the next 8 to 14 days. And we can take a look at where we're expecting that. Now, the jet stream does carry moisture, so we should have above average moisture up here, but it's nothing wild. And it does shows over the next 8 to 14 days, California's going to shut down. So your situations, your snowstorms, your rainstorms coming in from here, they're dampered. So I'm not expecting, so like next Wednesday, for example, while we have a chance for snow, it's 2 or 3 inches. It's not going to be 7, 8, 9, nothing like that. And that's kind of what we're expecting here. So you can see the setup here as we look at the temperatures across Canada. So here's tomorrow, but I wanted to just show you this. Look at the influence here from Canada in general. It is cold up here, and we actually have a consistent north wind. So I'm not really expecting temperatures to be able to rebound anytime soon. We're probably going to stay fairly cold as we're getting that northwest wind behind it. Going around the country, traveling tomorrow, areas down to the south, Atlanta at 70, New Orleans 84. This is a very seasonal type forecast. You don't see anything wild. You see Orlando at 88. You see Washington at 54. This is seasonal for the East Coast. Pretty seasonal for Nashville and Little Rock in the 50s or right around 60. Houston at 80. And then we go out here. I'm sure they're happy. Vegas has been getting quite a bit of rain, but this is still cold for Vegas. They'll be at 57 degrees. Down to LA at 67. Now, there's a lot of snow here in Colorado. There's a lot of snow. If you didn't hear me, in the Sierra Nevadas, they picked up 100 inches of snow. But this, to me, when I look at this across the country, it just looks oddly average. I don't see anything coming in, going out. Now, the next storm system that maybe we'll talk about will come off the East Coast. But to me, this looks average, which is almost creepy, but that makes sense. We talked about westerly flow, which is in the jet stream. So we're exiting our active period is what I'm trying to say. So I showed you the temperatures tomorrow, and then you look at the next 6 to 10 days. If you look at something like this, it shows you have a dormant jet stream. Because if your jet stream is flat, then your weather is flat. If your jet stream gets out of whack, then it's like the seesaw. So then the other side will get out of whack. So with it being westerly, it's just kind of chill. Just chill. And this is the most active period of the year. Well, I mean, we obviously just had our storm systems, but still, it has been active. It's about to become less and less active. All right, here's your next 7 days. We'll see temperatures. There you go, next week. Seasonal. The only chance for snow is really Wednesday, but when you have a westerly flow like that out of your jet, you got to call for quiet weather. Enjoy a really nice weekend. It's going to be 25 degrees Saturday, 10. Cold still. We're not there yet. We're not to that zonal flow. Zonal means boring in weather. But before that, enjoy the winter weather. I still think we can get out there and do some ice fishing. I actually don't expect to go ice fishing Saturday. It needs to lock up and get a little more safe, so maybe I'll go out there Sunday or Monday. Temperature's cool, warming up next week.